Welcome to example 4 on how to automate any EEP model railway layout using Lua but without writing any code yourself. In this example we are going to add 2 dead-end tracks here in this, let's say, industry area. In the previous video we introduced this two-way traffic track over here. And we are now going to expand our industry area with 2 dead-end tracks, and we are going to place a third train. And in 3D view it then looks like this. 3 trains means we have 3 on-off switches, 1 per train, and we now have 8 tracks, 1 and then the double track is 2 and 3 and 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, and that means we also have 8 of these control panel LED lights that show us where the trains are. Let's have a look how we can configure this. This is how it looks in 2D design mode, and let's first focus on how we can make a dead end like this and have the train brake to 0 speed, but then automatically reverse and drive the other way out of this dead end. Here we are inside EEP 2D editor screen, and at the top of our layout, block number 8 is a dead end block. Let's see how that works. The first thing that we come across when a train enters that block is this sensor here. And right click tells us that it is connected to signal 29. Signal 29, that is the block 8 control panel signal, as we can see here, 29. And Lua uses the signal to detect that a train has now entered this block. The train is going to reverse all by itself. Lua is not helping any with that. So when the train drives on, the second sensor that it passes is this one. It's connected to signal 24 and it says make that signal red, put it on stop. And that signal, that is this one at the very end of the block, we want the train to stop there. And yeah, then we open the signal and reverse the speed. That's what's going to happen. This is the pre-signal, so it starts to slow down here. Then it runs over this sensor, which is also connected to signal 24, but now it tells it to go to green again to enable the train to go. And the exact position of that sensor, yeah, you may have to experiment a little bit with it, because you want it to already have quite a low speed, almost 0, but just enough room to also run over this sensor, which is a train sensor, and it tells the train to reverse direction. And we want to do that, of course, when it is at almost 0 speed, otherwise it would not look realistic. Yeah, I have not done that. Maybe it is possible to experiment a little bit with these delay operations over here. I don't know. That might make it more realistic. And then what happens is the train reverses. The signal is on green, so it will start driving. And then, yeah, it depends a bit on the speed that we gave the train, how realistic that looks. But then it runs over this pre-signal over here, and that will stop it here at this signal. And of course, this pre-signal must be positioned such that the maximum length of the train still fits inside. It must run over that pre-signal, otherwise it will not stop. It will move out again. So this is all a little bit experimenting, and yeah, try it out to get it realistic. You might want to experiment also with train sensors in the opposite direction that give it a low speed, and then another sensor over here when the train is allowed to go that puts it on another speed again. I don't like to have that many sensors in the track. This is already more than enough for me. Right, so this is how a train reverses on a dead-end block and is now patiently waiting at its block signal to be allowed to depart again. So let's go to Notepad++ and see how we can configure this layout. We have 3 trains now, at least that is the plan. I'm going to place a 3rd train because we have enough blocks to make that interesting. The first train still is our steam. The on-off switch that it has now in use is number 30. The blue train now has our on-off switch 14, and the new orange train that I used has on-off switch number 4. All we have to do is just carefully look at the signal numbers and fill them in. The block numbers, as usual, we are going to fill in later when we place the trains for the very first time. Then we go to the allowed blocks, of which now we also have 3, of course, because we have 3 trains. Well, I want these trains to be able to run everywhere, so there are no zeros in here. And I also entered a couple of waiting times. A value larger than 1 means the train is going to stop in that track for a certain time. And that is entered just for fun, to have a bit more variation. Then we still have that same two-way block that we had in the previous video, and this is the little secret. We see here that if a train enters block 2, Lua can read over here that it also has to reserve block 3. And vice versa, if the train enters block 3, Lua reads in this table that it also has to reserve block 2. As usual, we simply fill in the block signals, and all we have to do is take care that we make no mistakes, which apparently I did with the next video, the layout number 5. I had a mistaken block signal, and then errors will occur. It's all a matter of work accurately, and then it is going to be okay. We also fill in the control panel, the memory signals. It's just filling in the numbers per block. Yeah, then the real work starts. We have to figure out all our routes, and specifically which turnouts have to be switched to which state. Let's do one example, the route from block 2 to block 7, that even has 4 turnouts now. And in the direction of travel, it is turnout 17 that we come across as the very first one. It has to be put on straight. Then we have to make turnout number 2 put on branch. Then we pass turnout 12 and it has to be put on straight. And then we will come to turnout 22 and it has to be put on branch. Well, it is as simple as that. All we need to do is work very accurately and try to make no errors here. Well, we see that we now in this medium to small layout, we already do have 14 routes. Well, yeah, the number of routes can grow quite fast, but yeah, it is not difficult to fill this in. It is just a matter of trying to be very accurate and make no errors. Then of course we scroll down a little bit and we come across our main switch, which still is number 3, and then we have the states of the signals that we have in use. No need to change anything below this line. We filled everything in, and let's have a look at how this is going to run. Right, we are going to add a third train. Let's place it here on block 4 in the direction from east to west. And let's try to find a orange train, and in the rolling stock, railway, standard gauge, locomotives, diesels, I'm not sure. This one, no. This one, no. This, yeah, this is a nice orange train. I'm going to put it down over there. Give it the name orange. And there we are. Let's check the driving direction. Let me click it, and if I move it forward, it should move towards me. Yeah, it does, so that's okay. I like to give it one carriage. Well, a passenger carriage would be a bit strange because we are also going to drive backward, but hey, it's just a demo layout, isn't it? Let's look for wagons, passenger car. Yeah, I don't know where the orange one is. Oh, this is okay. Let me put it over there. The name doesn't matter. And we are going to... I click my train. No, first driving mode. Click my engine. Automatic driving. Move backward to pick up that carriage. And yeah, there it is. Now we are going to give it a speed. Well, this is a modern train. Let's say this train can go 50. Why not? It's just for fun. Not very realistic what we are going to do, driving this train backward, because it is, I allowed it in the dead end block, so it is going to reverse its driving direction. Now we have to configure Lua, figure out where the trains are, so let's do that. Let me put that screen over here. I don't know if we can zoom in much to still see a little bit where the trains are. Train number 1, that is the steam engine. It is in block 1, at least that says the code over here, and that is correct. It is track 1. Then we have our orange train, and that is in block 4. So let me change this to block 4. Then we have our blue train, and that is block number 5 over there. Let me change this to block number 5. I'm going to say over here, place trains is 1, and reload the script, and then we should see these control panel LEDs have the correct situation. We have a train in block 1, we have a train in block 4, and we have a train in block 5. Well, it seems to work. Now I'm going to change this back to driving mode. Place trains is 0, reload the script, and we are ready to drive. Well, at the moment of truth, let me switch on, shift left click the main switch. And yeah, let's start with our new orange train. I'm going to switch it on, and it does not drive. Oh, there is a waiting time. Yeah, I remember now I gave it a waiting time. I was a bit confused myself, but it says so here. Orange train, 30 seconds waiting time. So no worries, and let me put those trains on too, and then we will just have a look what is going to happen. We are of course hoping for no collisions, and we are also waiting for trains to drive into our industry area dead end tracks and then reverse their driving direction. I'm curious, let's see what happens. I think the first movements were okay. The blue train I see over here, it says it is going to track number 2, which is our middle two-way track. And then the orange train is already again on the move, and it is going to track number 4. Yeah, that's the only place it can go to. And also our steam engine is going to track 1. Well, it's a very small layout, but already a lot is happening. That's fun. But yeah, I want to wait until a train drives into a dead end, which is going to happen right now. The blue train is going to track 8, which is the very top track over there. So I'm curious, is it going to slow down, reverse, and then drive to the signal and then get out when it can? Well, it is already there. It's now going to brake. Not super realistic, but of course you can change that with, yeah, and it should have a little stop time, but yeah, I have not tinkered with that. Oh, it already has a green signal, yeah, because the route ahead was free and I forgot to give it a waiting time. Also the orange train is now in the dead end track. Now it is going to be a little bit less realistic that this orange train is reversing, but hey, that can happen. It is having a stop time, I don't know, why is it stopping, we will see. I don't know why it is stopping. The steam is going, the blue is going. Well, I think the orange train will leave again. Let's be positive about that. We wait until that and then we call it the day for this video. Everything can be downloaded from GitHub, so you can play with it yourself and experiment and create other layouts. It should work on any layout as long as you fill in the routes and the turnout states correct, then all will be well. Yeah, and of course fill in the signal numbers correct. Isn't this fun? On a small model railway layout like this, you already have quite a lot going on. Next video will be layout number 5. That is a somewhat larger layout. It's a layout with, I don't remember exactly, I think 27 blocks and yeah, a whole lot of routes. 7 trains all driving through each other and everything goes well. I hope to see you back there. In the meantime, have fun. And let's have one more minute of train traffic over here. Always when you quit EEP, first switch off the main switch, wait until all the trains came to a stop, then we can quit, because now everything is going to be saved on disk and we can start the next session where we left off. Bye bye.